Hey EXPs, it's Jae, your experiential marketing coach, and let's dive deep into this topic of how to not get on the event manager's ish list. I can relate 100% to this topic because I'm currently on tour serving as a tour manager, and I have to deal with logistical changes, various on-site contacts, brand ambassadors, training, and ensuring that they arrive on time and are able to convey adequate product information. And on top of that, maintain great communication with my staffing coordinators as well as account managers in the office. So with all these things that a tour manager has to be responsible for, the last thing tour managers want to have to worry about is managing EXPs and babysitting them. And as an EXP, it's important that you do not do these things to get on the tour manager's ish list. Let's start with number one. And let me rephrase this real quick. You don't have to be a manager on tour. You could be an in-market manager. You could be a regional manager. You could be serving as a team lead. These tips still apply. All right, so let's jump into my first tip, showing up late and unprepared. As an EXP, it is important that you take the time to review any event details prior to executing your event, at least 24 hours prior. Ensure that you have the proper uniform attire that's required, that you take the time to look at the route and how much time it will take you to get to the event site, and that you communicate any concerns with the event, with the training materials in a timely manner. If you are working an event, you have to show up on time. I stress this a lot. You only have one chance to make a good first impression as an EXP. And when you're executing any type of event, the last thing a tour manager or in-market manager wants to worry about is having to babysit you and making sure that you're on time, that you are prepared, that you have studied all your brand knowledge, and that you will be able to articulate any brand key talking points to consumers in a professional manner. One thing that you can do to get yourself on an event manager's or tour manager's or market manager's SHIT list, I don't curse, I'm not gonna say the word, is showing up late and unprepared. Tip number two, acting unprofessionally. Whether that's using profanity, whether that's not taking the time to study and providing consumers with wrong product information, whether that is mishandling event assets, whether you are just being rude and you're not respecting another EXP or respecting the actual event and the brand and their key messaging. Act professionally and you represent yourself in a professional manner. I cannot stress this enough, and I talk about this in my book, You Do What, with my 3 Ps, professionalism, personable, and you always have to be presentable. And lastly, you cannot have an entitlement mentality. If you were hired to work as labor staff and you're coming on site telling a tour manager or the event manager what you're not going to be lifting, that's a no-go because you were hired as labor. So you're there to assist and set up the event and the footprint as needed. If you were hired as an EXP and communicated or the information was conveyed to you that you may have to help with light setup, but you get on site and you don't want to even lift a pin or assist another EXP as they're moving things, that is not cool. I don't care if you become one of the top tour managers or you're just starting out entry level as a brand ambassador. Having a entitlement mentality will not get you far in the experiential marketing industry. It may get you blacklisted with some companies, experiential marketing and staffing agencies, and oftentimes tour managers and EXPs who are executing events, especially those who may be doing in-market programs consistently and running a certain region, they will request by that staffing agency or their experiential marketing agency to not hire you for any future events. As tour managers or event managers or market managers, we have a responsibility to execute and complete event recaps on an event by event basis. And oftentimes, well, I'm just going to speak from my personal experience. If I have bad interactions or experiences, or if I have an EXP who gets on my ish list by doing the things that I just referenced, I will convey this information to the staffing agency or the account manager to, let them know, hey, do not send them out to my event again if I will be executing this event consistently in this market. Or if you're going to have future events in this market, do not hire them because they were unprofessional or they, exuded acts of unprofessionalism while they were on site. If you're starting out at the entry level as a brand ambassador, if you've been executing events for 5, 10 plus years as a tour manager, that you maintain a great reputation. And for those brand ambassadors or those looking to continue to advance in the industry, you do not, get on a manager or experiential marketing agency or staff agencies ish list, not gonna say the word, by doing the things that I mentioned earlier. So if you guys haven't already, definitely refer back to my other YouTube videos where I talk about the top tips to avoid as an EXP. I also provided you guys with some different tips that you can share with other EXPs to ensure that you continue to maintain a great reputation and that you continue to obtain consistent opportunities. And also, if you haven't already, pick up your copy of You Do What. I talk about this and I break down the various avenues and entities of the experiential marketing industry in greater detail. And I want to hear from you guys. What are some things that you advise, your EXPs or if you're managing a program, your staff, when you're on site, that they should avoid, to not get on your ish list? Let's talk, let's discuss it, and I'm looking forward to hearing your insight and feedback. Definitely share this video with other EXPs who could use this insight. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, you are a brand within a brand, so always represent yourself accordingly. Later.